Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back. Got a new shelf here. Went a little bold with the yellow trim. I'm not sure it adds much above the white classic trim, and it kind of busies the piece a little bit. I had to choose very simplistic backgrounds in order not to have the whole thing just scream at you, which I don't like, but my wife does. I know other people do. They like this kind of quirky, haven't seen it before because there's not a lot of cohesion to it. So, that's what I'm trying to do with this whole thing is to build these that appeal to everyone. And I have 6 of them now. I'm going to try and sell them. We'll see what happens. I think I've appealed to a bunch of different styles. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But more importantly, I have a book haul here. I need to restock my store. I don't have many things left in there. So, here we go. We got Ted Chiang, Stories of Your Life and Others. I loved this collection. Pretty much every story in there, which is rare. Normally when you read any kind of short story anthology, it's always a mixed bag, and there's ones where you're like, you didn't really care for. But this one, I liked every single story. Especially the title piece. It was incredible. I mean, that was one of those, like, as a writer, you read it and you're like, my God, it's a masterpiece how it all comes together in the end. I just wish I could do that one day. So, inspiring. I liked his other one too, Exaltation, but not quite as much. We got Ishiguro, Clara and the Sun, which is brand new, I know, or not brand new, but a couple months old, and the book is brand new. So, it's pretty nice, it's going to be worth something. The only thing is there was some kind of printing error. You can see, I think, that there's like a gap there. Like the glue wasn't quite congealed, but it's completely functional. I don't see any reason why it's going to affect the usage of the book. So I'll have to figure out the best way to explain that in the listing. We got yet another 40K novel. This one, Double Eagle by Dan Abnett. I don't play 40K. I had a Necron Army a long time ago. My older brother plays, but I know people love these novels. This one, I don't know if it's worth as much as the others. It's got a big crease up the middle, but we'll see. Something I would want in my store for sure. We got Gibson, Neuromancer, which I read, and I was confused most of the time, but I got through it, and I'm glad I did. It's of course the foundation of cyberpunk, as everyone knows. But there's so many of these out there trying to be sold on eBay, I don't think it would sell by itself, so I got Mona Lisa Overdrive, which I have not read, but will go nicely as a double feature, so that these books will go, I think, probably. We got Philosophy in the Tragic Age of the Greeks by Nietzsche. This one, I have enough nihilism, self-generated nihilism in my life that I don't need. This guy's name even kind of scares me just to utter it, because I know that he was the founder. There's probably some controversy if he actually was the founder of nihilism or what, but scary guy for me. Scary idea. Here we go. H.P. Lovecraft, some kind of French publication. My high school French is a little rusty. He's a fantastic man. The fascination of the incomprehensible, I think. So, that's going in my shop. It's a weird Sonic the Hedgehog comic. I think it's worth like $10 or something. It just caught my eye. It looks nice. Who doesn't like Sonic the Hedgehog? Here is a beautiful book. I fell in love with this book as soon as I saw it, and that's not something I do normally. Look at that. Fellowship of the Ring, which of course I read, and a lot of people say it was their least favorite because it was the slowest, but it was my favorite. I don't know what to say. It is slow, it is boring, it is overly descriptive. I don't know if it's just the mass hype hysteria behind it that I caught onto, but God, I loved reading that. Something about the glossiness of it, the picture here, that blue color with the black. I don't know. I don't know why this is. I'm drawn to it, but I am. It's beautiful. And now I have a quest. I need to find the other two in this edition. which is kind of the gamified version of this whole thing. Is a lot of books will only sell. This one would probably sell by itself, but a lot of books won't sell by themselves, so you have to find their companion pieces. With Lord of the Rings, it's pretty straightforward. The companion pieces are Two Towers and Return of the King. Or like Wheel of Time, or a lot of like YA trilogies is pretty straightforward. But other ones, you know, like Neuromancer, I know wouldn't sell, so I had to find a companion to that. Which is fun. You know, you're holding all this information in your head. You're finding ways to form solutions. You know, that's what life is, right? Here's a weird one. This little Magic the Gathering booklet that came with I don't know what. And it's kind of like a little synopsis of all of the sets up until Antiquities. I've played Magic the Gathering all my life, so I was going to buy it regardless. There's not a lot of information. It seems like something a collector would want, and Magic the Gathering is like the collectible thing. So, who knows? Who knows? We got Azimon, Nemesis. This one didn't have a barcode, which is always a plus for me because, you know, people that are going through scanning, they see one without a barcode, and I imagine they just pass over it. They don't type it in and see what's going on. So, but I do. And not that this was any kind of particular gem, but it's Asimov, who I'm a fan of, a tempered fan. You know, I tried to read Foundation, I couldn't get through it. Nightfall was incredible. I've read a few of his novels. And, you know, they're okay. He's kind of like, it's slow and boring to get to the point, but then, like, you reach the point and you're like, whoa, damn. Which was, like, kind of the epitome of Nightfall, if you read that. More of these Dune novels, which I was very excited to find. Brand new condition. I don't have the full, I believe it's 6 Dune books. I need the later ones, like Chapter House of Dune, and it's kind of frustrating because there's two kinds of these books. There's the trade paperbacks and there's the mass market paperbacks, and I have like a mixture of them. So I need to find specific ones in mass market and specific ones in trade to get full sets, because that's, like I said, you're looking for the full sets. That's kind of, I think, the most efficient way to do it, like money-wise and time-wise, is to sell as sets as opposed to, you know, randomly selling Children of Dune or something. David Copperfield, and was like old-timey antiquarian, that's the word, binding. What was the name of it? The Franklin Library edition of David Copperfield, which I thought was going to be worth more than it is, and maybe it's a beautiful edition, brand new, never read. It's going to look really good on a shelf. Had this inside. I don't know if that's like a Franklin Library thing or what. It's a sticker, I believe. It's a nice bonus, whoever buys this book. Yeah, obviously I was drawn to this. Another one without a barcode, so again, people are just going to move over it. Like brand new, a little dusty on the top. That'll clean up. I did look it up. It's kind of not certain exactly how much it's worth, but it's a good find. Good find. Another one I'm not sure exactly how much it's worth. I tried to look it up. There's just not a lot of listings. Swiss Family Robinson. You know, just one of these cloth-bound, hardback. You know, no little kid wrote their name in it. That's a plus. Obviously unread. Just a nice book. You know, who doesn't like one of these? It's got a kind of a scratch down the back there. But who doesn't like one of these cloth-bound books on a shelf? You know? $10, maybe? I don't know. Ooh, testing the limits of the shelf already. Okay, When Paris Sizzled. This was just a book I found that I don't know anything about. It is worth some amount of money. I've noticed when books have this little like crease mark here, I don't know, that's like some kind of printing term for it, where like that's how it's bound. A lot of those books tend to be worth some money. I think maybe it's because like smaller presses use a different style and it ends up having this crease right here. Maybe it's just a pattern that I've created in my head and it is not actually there. I would believe that 100%. I don't know. Harold in the Purple Crayon. I'm not selling this, but I'm trying to expand my children's book library. I read this when I was a kid. I would like to read it to my kid, and God willing that Will happen. To Kill a Mockingbird, not particularly valuable, but as a bookseller, you got to have this one, right? The Hidden Life of Trees. This is actually worth some money. It's this nice, like, tiny hardback. Feels nice, looks nice. I thought it was stained. One of these, it might be stained. I still can't tell. Yeah, I think it's kind of stained, but there's also like this sepia-toned, coffee-stained pattern, style, design on it, which, you know, does look good, I guess. Nice one. Gulliver's Travels, Jonathan Swift. For the life of me, I couldn't find any listing for it on eBay, which was weird. Obviously, there's a billion editions of this, so it's hard to find this one. Borders tag, which is covering the barcode, another plus when you're searching the shelves of Goodwill, and another book that you have to have in your bookstore, along with Frankenstein, Mary Shelley. This, I don't know the term for this. It's kind of like, not sticky cover, but like smooth and sticky at the same time. That's not going to make any sense to anyone. But it feels nice. It looks nice. Looks brand new. But can I call it brand new? This one, I can't find a single thing wrong with it. So I know the term brand new is a dangerous one. Beautiful book, regardless. Beautiful book, glad to have it. Alright, so I've had Ready Player One in my store, but of course everyone and their mother owns a copy of Ready Player One. So I found this as a companion piece. I suppose Ready Player Two would be a better companion piece, but hopefully these two together will sell. I'll get those out of here. Confederacy of Dunces. I've wanted to read this book for a while. This was the copy I had that I was going to read. But then I found the more traditional cover with the main character on the cover. I think he's got a red scarf or something. I'm really into dislikable main characters. For whatever reason, when I write, that seems to be what I'm drawn towards. And I know this is a famous one. Also was set in New Orleans, where I lived for a while, so it had a couple things going for it. Still on my TBR shelf, but I found a better copy. This is maybe worth something. I don't know. Voltaire, I've wanted to read this one for a while. I think it's the same thing, where there's an unlikable main character. I believe someone recommended it to me. Ooh, it's got some gross foxing on it. These Barnes & Noble classics always look nice to me. You find them all the time brand new. Although this one looked brand new, but it is very much not brand new. But, you know, in any case, I usually pick them up if they're like super brand new. Or maybe sell them in some kind of a big pack. Margaret Atwood, The Testaments. I know this is fairly new. If I had a copy of A Handmaid's Tale, I might sell it with that. I thought I did have a copy. You gotta have that in your bookstore. But this is clearly was unread. I don't know, maybe these unread books are like Christmas presents or something, that people are like, I'm never gonna read this, so let's just nip it in the bud and give it away right now. Yeah, brand new, beautiful book. Confident that will sell. Alright, and my latest assortment of Penguin classics here. We got Graham Greene, The Ministry of Fear. Like the looks of that one. Oh, and this one has the added terrifying bonus of a nice portrait of Franz Kafka there. He's looking like a reasonable, well-rounded human being, right? I read The Trial not long ago. And that was bizarre. I don't know why I read that, because he does. He like puts a spell on you. It's like this weird like nihilism witchcraft, and he knows how to inflict it upon people that your life is small and meaningless. But anyways, I got out of that. It was an interesting read. I wouldn't recommend it. We got Ethan Frome, Edith Wharton. This is just a shameless buy that will add to my collection. I do like the cover. It's a classic novel of despair, forbidden emotions, and sexual undercurrents. Like I said, The Trial was enough for me. I would prefer not to dwell on despair for any longer than I have to. Here's a classic, Emma Jane Austen. Never read it. I read Pride and Prejudice, didn't like it, so I probably won't read this one. But I guess I'm collecting all these in hopes that, one day I have a family and they have access to anything that they would like to read, because these are the kind of books that you hear about, right? In school or just on the internet, people talk about this one all the time. So if someone's like, hey, someone said they really liked Emma because of X, Y, and Z, and I want to read it, then I have it, and they're able to. Another one, George Eliot, Middlemarch. I never read George Eliot. Got a couple of theirs, though. This is apparently their most ambitious novel. A masterly evocation of diverse lives. It's a little intimidating for me, but it's going to look nice on the shelf. It's going to look nice on this shelf. Beautiful. Here's a bit of a gamble. Throne of the World. Super old. I think it's like 40s. I only saw one listing. Not sure how this one compares. It's got a bite out of the back jacket cover. You don't like to see that. But when you see a book this old, like 1940s, it's like almost unbelievable how old that is. So, I don't know, kind of fun. Might sell, might not, whatever. Another gamble, The Happy Lion. I didn't see this specific book anywhere, but again, it's from like the 40s. It's a children's book. I saw some that seemed to be like companion pieces to this one. So you'd think that this one, presumably the original, would also sell for some amount of money. Will it? I don't know. Okay. So yeah, the title, The Bookseller's Burden, is all these other books I have down here that I don't even have room for. I'm going to run through them real quick. I consider it a burden. It's too harsh of a word because, I like books in general. But the burden is, much like these shelves, having to accommodate everyone's tastes in your store. Like the Star Wars trilogy, I care nothing about it. But someone does, and I need to have it in my store to accommodate everyone's tastes and likes. So this one actually I had higher hopes for, but it looks like an old Star Wars book, but not very valuable. In the store, Stranger Things novel, mass appeal in the store. 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, new book, good condition. And you know what? It's not fair for me to say this is a burden, honestly. I might love this book. Why am I judging it that way? I don't know. This one I know I wouldn't like. It's some religious text. Nothing against it. Thick book. Never heard of it. Here we go. This is The Bookseller's Burden. I don't care about this at all. But it's going to sell and make someone else happy, so I guess that's a reason for me to care about it. I don't know. There's another religious text, The Divine Hours. This one comes with a sweet bookmark, though. It's like textured. It says bookmark right on it in case you forget what it was. It's kind of cool. All right, Trevor Noah, Born a Crime. This is a very popular one. I thought the market would be flooded with them and it wouldn't sell for anything, but it will sell, and it's in great condition. Book my grandmother gave me. Sorry, Grandma. Not going to read it. Sandra Brown. This was at the very beginning of this whole journey for me, and I'm like, whoa, this book is brand new. I want this on my bookshelf, and Sandra Brown, that's a big name. But I come to learn that the big names don't sell. Like Louise Penny and Kristen Hanna and Sandra Brown. Like this big, like mainstream fiction. I guess everyone just buys it new, so they don't ever look for it new, or the market's just so flooded with it that you can't sell it, even if it's brand new. But I'm going to try for like a minimum sale on that one. We'll see what happens. Same with Kristen Hanna here, some brand new books that are apparently worthless. Same with Louise Penny here, more brand new books that are maybe they can limp through with a sale. We'll see. Just another one that I liked, cloth bound. I wanted to read this one actually, but I just had to cut it from my TBR. Because that's how it goes. Hopefully it'll sell. This is a random one. Thinking of You, Bookseller's Burden. Someone got 12 pages in and they used this. I like these notebooks. Looks like a toilet seat cover though. Okay, here's a brand new book, The Keeper of Happy Endings. This one's actually worth something. Now, when I went to this Goodwill, there was just a big stack of just brand new, newly published books. I assume they're Christmas presents. I don't know. But that one will sell. This one is, actually I want to read this. This was on my TBR as well, but I had to make some hard cuts because it was just getting ridiculous and overwhelming. But it's something about introverted people and how they are getting accepted in the world or something like that. I don't know. It sounded interesting. Someone else will read it, hopefully. D-Day Girls. I don't know. This, The Bad Beginning, I read these as a kid. What's funny about this is like they call it rare edition. And I just imagine like when it was being printed and they're just like rolling them out and they're pumping them out. Boom, boom, boom. And on each single one they put rare edition on it. Like it's not rare. You can't say it's rare when you're on the printed material. I don't know. The other weird thing is that Country Inn and Suites. It's like a library in a hotel or something. I've never seen that before, but kind of interesting. Hopefully those stickers come off nicely because this is worth like $10, I think. I mean, it's the rare edition after all, you know. Breakfast with Buddha. I don't know anything about this, but I actually met this guy. He often visits my uncle's restaurant. He was like a regular there, and like he said, he was an author. And you know, when someone says that offhand, you're an independent author like I am, who writes books but has never published anything. But no, this dude's legitimate. And here's his book, and it's brand new, and it's got that crease along the spine that tells me it's a small press, and it is. I think this one's actually worth something. This is brand new. So close to brand new. Euphoria, Lily King. Looks nice. Brand new. Bookseller's Burden. Here's one I cannot sell. This is a ghost town of listings on eBay for this book. Borders tag. Someone bought it for $13 long ago. It's impossible to sell. I'm just going to have to give it away, I suppose. Here's a weird one. Toto-chan, the little girl at the window. Apparently people want to buy this book. Got someone's shopping list in there. A brand new book, romance, Drunk on Love, Jasmine Guillory. You know, like, I guess it's weird for me, which is why I say it's the burden, is like, I don't care about this book. Like, I guess I'm spoiled, and I want to care about these books as much as I care about this one. I want to feel about every book the way I feel about this one, but that's not how it works. Is that a burden, or is that's just life? You know? So maybe a burden is a harsh word. I mean, it's a brand new book. I like the way it feels. I like the way it moves. What else do I want? You know? It's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful book. Cloud Cuckoo Land. It's a popular one. Beautiful book. It's not worth as much as I thought it would be. I actually have 2 of these, so I hope it sells. Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Whatever that means. And The Secret History of Witches. Random, cloth bound, feels nice, tattered edge. Who knows? Alright, that's what I got. Eager to get these on the store. I have kind of run out of items, which is great, I suppose. And I'm confident that all of these will sell as well, so we're doing it. We're doing it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.